The time is 7:36. I'm going to call this meeting of the mayor and council to order. Today is Monday, August 25th, 2014. This is a regular business and public hearing of the mayor and council, city of Snellville. All members of the mayor and council are present. First tonight we have our invocation. Unfortunately, since our last council meeting, we've had several deaths here in the city of Snellville, so I'd like to have a moment of silence for the following and their families. First, we had Jamie Dillon Crawford. He is the great-grandson of Mr. Wayne Odom. Many of you know Mr. Odom as the longest-serving council member here in Snellville. His grandson was 3.5 years old and drowned a week ago. Horrible circumstances. Also, Lieutenant Colonel retired Charles Stansel passed away last week. He was a Snellville native. He attended South Gwinnett High School. He was one of the first, he lettered in 4 sports while there. His football jersey, number 40, has been retired, and he earned a commission to West Point and had a military career after graduating from South Gwinnett High School, so an alumni here of Snellville. And then last but definitely not least is Carol Brown. She is the wife of one of our own, police officer Billy Wayne Brown, and she passed away from her long battle with cancer about a week and a half ago. So if we could have a moment of silence for these people and their families. Thank you. Now for tonight's announcements. On August 26th, we'll have a planning commission meeting that will be a 7 p.m. work session and a 7:30 p.m. meeting here at City Hall. On September 1st, City Hall and the Recycling Center, all city offices with the exception of emergency services and garbage pickup, will be closed for the Labor Day holiday. September 4th, the next session of our Snellville Citizens Police Academy will begin from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. over at the Snellville Police Department, and it is not too late to apply. You can still get applications if you'd like. September 5th, we'll have a blood drive here at City Hall from 1:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. in the community room. To learn more about blood donation opportunities, visit www.redcross.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS. September 7th, you can watch a broadcast of this council meeting on Comcast Channel 25 at 6:30 p.m. Our next regular scheduled council meeting will be on September 8th at 6:30 p.m. work session and a 7:30 p.m. meeting here at City Hall. And the September 9th Board of Appeals meeting has been canceled. That concludes our announcements. Now for the pledge to the flag. Mr. Conway, you get chosen for sitting in the front row. Can you lead us in tonight's pledge, please, sir? Under ceremonial matters, we have Proclamation 2014-08. This is a proclamation we're happy to give annually. It's National Payroll Week. It says, whereas the American Payroll Association and its 23,000 members have launched a nationwide public awareness campaign that pays tribute to the more than 160 million people who work in the United States and the payroll professionals who support the American system by paying wages, reporting worker earnings, and withholding federal employment taxes. Whereas National Payroll Week is designed to help workers in America better understand issues related to the payroll and tax systems, as well as to educate payroll professionals and employers about important payroll-related regulatory and compliance issues. And whereas payroll professionals in Snellville, Georgia play a key role in maintaining the economic health of Snellville, carrying out such diverse tasks as paying into unemployment insurance system, providing information for child support enforcement, and carrying out tax withholding, reporting, and depositing. Whereas payroll departments collectively spend more than $16 billion annually complying with a myriad of federal, state, and local wage tax laws. Whereas payroll professionals play an increasingly important role ensuring the economic security of American families by helping to identify non-custodial parents and making sure they comply with their child support mandates. Whereas payroll professionals have become increasingly proactive in educating both the business community and the public at large about the payroll tax withholding systems. Whereas payroll professionals meet regularly with federal and state tax officials to discuss both improving compliance with government procedures and how compliance can be achieved at less cost to both government and businesses. Whereas the week September 1st to September 5th, 2014, in which Labor Day falls, has been proclaimed National Payroll Week, I hereby give additional support to the efforts of the people who work in Snellville, Georgia. Therefore, I, Kelly D. Couts, Mayor of the City of Snellville, where everybody is somebody, on behalf of the city, do hereby proclaim September 1st to September 5th, 2014, as National Payroll Week in the City of Snellville. Proclaim this 25th day of August, 2014. And we have the American Payroll Association Atlanta chapter with us this evening to accept this proclamation. Thank you for all that you do for our city and our community.
Squeeze in just a tad. There we go.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we discussed in the work session postponement of the minutes. Do I have a motion to postpone the minutes till our next meeting?
Motion to postpone the minutes till the next meeting.
And that's, is it September? I just said it in the announcements. September 8th, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Emanuel, second by Councilman Howard. All those in favor signify by raising your right hand. 6 in favor, all those opposed, 0 opposed. The minutes are postponed. We have no invited guests tonight. For committee and department reports, we have Ms. Marcy Ferris, Chairwoman of the Board of Appeals.
Mayor and Council, the Board of Appeals met on August 12th to hear BOA 1409. This was a variance request by GRP Investments for the renovation of a former restaurant to a medical office building on Ronald Reagan Parkway. Variants were granted for architectural design standards, parking requirements, and the landscape islands, with conditions. In addition, we addressed the dead and diseased trees on the property and required a certified arborist to review the trees and shrubbery and the owner to remove and replace all as recommended by the arborist's report. Any questions?
Yes, that's the old Up the Creek location,
Yes.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
If I may, Marcy, can you go into a little more detail about what they want to do?
They're going to take a 6,000-foot building and put on an addition of 6,000 square feet to make a 12,000 square foot medical building. And he's thinking the doctor that's doing it is either going to take half of the building or a third of the building, depending on the other tenants that he gets. But he's hoping to have no more than 3 tenants in there.
But it's all one level, though. He's staying on the ground.
Right, yeah,
okay.
it's one
We're not
level.
going up. Okay.
Yeah, he's adding on. He's doubling the square footage.
Okay.
But it's all one level. He's not going up. It
Thank
should be very nice when he's finished.
Thank you, Ms. Ferris. We also have a report from Kelly McAloon, Executive Director of the Snellville Tourism and Trade Association.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Well, STAT has had a very busy August. For those of you who attended the concert on the Green this Saturday night, It was amazing. Electric Avenue rocked the green as everyone enjoyed their music and danced their way through the 80s. It was really nice. Thank you to the City of Snellville for your continued support, and to the Snellville Police Department for always keeping us safe. Many thanks again to our presenting sponsor, About Face Skincare, for helping make this event possible. And as always, kudos to all the volunteers who came out and helped to make this event run smoothly. From set up to breakdown, we could not put on these kind of events without the dedicated volunteers that we have in this city. You make us proud, and as always, you are the heart of our city. We had about 6 folks. Honestly, it was very hot. I know the farmers market was hot on them all morning, and we had 6 people, which several of those worked the market all morning, and they came out and worked 4 more hours in the hot heat. It was hot. So everybody, it was whipped, but it was awesome, and we just thank everybody who came back and worked that night too. Great night for everybody. Please see our pictures on Snellville Tourism and Trade Facebook page. Please save the date for our September lineup. September 13th will be our next outdoor free concert on the green. This is the Metro Jazz Club, which was postponed from the rain date that we had in August. It's a 17-piece jazz band that is incredible, and these guys pack the house too. So come early, save your spot. We'll have food trucks on site again. We'll have beer and wine for purchase. So everything, beer and wine and food trucks were at this last concert, and it was great. So come on again out on September 13th. On Sunday, September 21st, is our 4th annual Around the World Visit Snellville International event. We are very excited about this event, which will be held on the green this year. We want to celebrate the growing international community we live in and share the rich heritage represented here in Snellville. A parade of nations will kick off the festivities at noon, followed by drummers, dancers, Japanese swordsmen, and many other activities that will be represented from other countries around the world. A wide variety of international food vendors representing 15 countries will be selling samples of food that will satisfy any palate. We will have an international kids zone, a global sports zone, cooking demonstrations, and much more. We invite everyone to join us. Pick up your passports at the International Welcome Center and get them stamped as you journey from country to country. On September 27th is our last Popcorn in the Park outdoor movie. We'll actually have some folks there dressed in the characters from the Frozen movie that will be there to take some photos with the children there. So that's always lots of fun, and Stat the Cat will be there as well. Information regarding our 2nd annual Scarecrow Contest will be available on our website by the 1st week in September. If you're a resident, a business owner, a church group, school group, or any other group in Snellville, we want you to participate in the Scarecrow Contest. This is an awesome community activity. We had 24 businesses participate last year, and it was really lots of fun for families to go around and pick who the winner was, and they bring them down to the Fall Festival. People vote on them, and the proceeds last year were donated to the food bank. The farmers market has only 5 markets left. Where did the year go? It seems like they just opened and there's only 5 left. This Saturday, they are going to have their annual dog contest at 9:30 a.m. So if you have a little dog, a little furry, 4-legged friend, bring them down to the green at 9:30 for the contest. Also, please vote for the Snellville Farmers Market in the American Farmland Trust Contest. They are now #1 in Georgia and 4th in the nation, but would love to be #1 again in the nation as they were last year. But to do this, they need your help. So please find a link on the Snellville Farmers Market Facebook page and vote. You can vote once a week. So please make that vote count and go in every week and help them be number one again. While we're talking about great recognition, the Snellville Farmers Market was recently referred to in a news story as the mother of all Gwinnett farmers markets, a compliment that they will gladly accept. Big news at the community garden is the new pavilion, which was constructed with funds raised during the casino night last year and this year and sponsored by the Gwinnett Sunrise Rotary, the Greater Eastside Chamber of Commerce, Snellville Tourism and Trade, and the Community Garden Committee. The Snellville's Farmers Market has donated additional funds to the garden that were needed to supplement what had already been raised, so the pavilion could be constructed this year. The pavilion will provide shade for the gardeners and a venue for classes taught for the community by master gardeners. This will conclude my report. Any questions?
Kelly, the international event,
Yes.
did I understand you to say that at noon there would be a parade?
Of Nations, correct.
Okay, is that on the green?
It'll be, everything's going to be on the green. We're going to start at noon. We've got 40 flags from different countries, and we'll start the Parade of Nations right at noon, yes.
And it just stays on the green?
Everything will be on the green. The road will be closed, and we'll have activities like we do at other festivals. So, big event. Make sure everybody comes out. It's going to be awesome. And we have a surprise arch. That's an Oriental arch that's coming. That's going to just be the wow factor. So, please come out. I know. Well, it's just to get their curiosity. Anyway, that's it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Sanders, anything you need to report?
I think I gave most of it in the work session. I just have one thing. I want to recognize Perry Idson. I don't know, maybe one of y'all were going to put this in your report. Mr. Idson from the Ice House in Wisteria Village sponsored the ALS Bucket Challenge, cooperated with Dalton PD on Saturday and Sunday. I think raised a lot of money. I want to tip my hat to Dalton. I'm sorry, Snellville PD for the. I will never live that down. I had a Perry Idson in Dalton, and that made the connection. But I don't know how many officers participated from Snellville PD. But there were several there when my wife and I came, and I just want to say that Thad Clark and Linda Nixon were a little too excited to dump that ice on my wife's head and my head. But it was great. Perry, thank you for working with PD on that.
All right, we have no consent agenda tonight. We have no old business or public hearing. That brings us to new business. Item A, consideration action on motion to rescind approval of RZ 14-02 with all of its approved conditions made by 4-1 vote on the August 11, 2014 regular meeting of the mayor and council. Is there any motion to rescind the approval of RZ 14-02?
If there are no objections, I'd like to get some clarification from Mr. Powell.
What is the clarification you're seeking?
Multiple. I'd like your interpretation of the laws and the ordinances that cover the applications for zoning changes. I've done some reading on this, and as has been pointed out, I did not graduate from law school, so I would like to get your opinion. Are sections 36-66 and 36-67 of OCGA the relevant state statutes that cover this?
Yes, they are.
And we also have something in our Code of Ordinances.
Yes, sir.
Would that be Appendix B, Article 15?
It is. It's the section regarding how amendments, it's really your zoning procedures
Okay.
response
And-
to the code, to the state code requirements.
And from what I can determine, sections 15-1 through 15-7 of Article 15 would be relevant to that, wouldn't they?
The sections, it's sort of easy. It's the amendment.
Mr. Powell, I'm going to stop you for just a minute. This is on for a motion to rescind. If there is no motion, then there's no action to take on this agenda item. Mr. Manuel, if you want to put a motion forward, that's fine, but this is on for discussion. It's on for a motion to rescind.
Well, I won't make a motion until I know if it's legal. I'd like to
Well,
determine the
way-
legality of such a
and maybe
motion.
Mr. Conway can help us. The way is to make a motion and then to debate the motion or to discuss the motion, but there's not a discussion prior to the
Well, I asked if there were
motion.
no objections. I'd like to get some clarification from Mr. Powell.
And I did, at the time, you just said clarification. I didn't know where you're going with this. This is,
Trying to get clarification.
okay, but at this point in time, it's proper to ask for a motion. If you have a motion to make, you need to make one. Otherwise, there's nothing for us to discuss or to debate.
Mr. Conway, would you weigh in on that, please?
If there is an objection to your request for information, a motion and a second and a vote will settle the question regarding whether or not Mr. Powell can speak.
But that motion won't be on the item that's on the agenda. That motion will be to allow our city.
Allow the city attorney to give information.
Continue his, then I can make that motion.
If the vote fails, Mr. Powell is not allowed to speak.
Mr. Conway, under what authority is Mr. Powell speaking? The agenda item is for a motion to rescind. So there is no motion before this council.
Right, there is no motion before the council, and so in a typical arrangement for this body, when an agenda item is present, there is informal discussion, as I understand it, and there has been in the past.
Typically, it says discussion, consideration, action. This agenda item does not have discussion listed, only consideration, action on the motion.
Okay, that's correct. If the body so chooses, the body can vote and allow anyone to speak about their backyard, about their flowers, anything they want, with the permission of the body. And that is in Robert's Rules of Order.
Okay.
At any time, without a motion on the floor. That is accurate, with the permission of the voting assembly.
Okay. So then the motion would be to allow Councilman Emanuel to speak as to,
Mr. Emanuel asked for information from the city attorney with no objections. He was asking for unanimous consent. There was an objection by the chair. So at this point then, there will be a vote or not. In other words, now that your place now is to assume the motion, because unanimous consent was denied by an objection, and so now your place is to ask for a vote. And according to procedure, even with no motion on the floor, if someone wants to stand up and speak about anything they want with the permission of the voting body, they're allowed to.
Councilman Emanuel, this is getting way too complicated. I'll withdraw my objection to your point of information.
Thank you. See, that wasn't so hard.
Just, we've done a lot with charters and codes, and the state code trumps both the charter and the code of ordinances of the city. Zoning regulations are very precise, and it's just to avoid improprieties in scheduling and hearings. And so the 3666-4 and actually 1, 2, 3, and 4 all give a procedure for when you can take up a zoning action. And the only time you can do that under 4 is after you've advertised it, just like you did last meeting. That lead up is the only time you can actually take action on a zoning matter. Now you have a provision that's a very useful tool. That's one that rescinds. You can rescind if you bring it up at the meeting, or if you put it on the agenda of the next meeting. And what that means is, if you're not regulated by state law, that's a tool that you could use if there was an error in the process. That does not apply. The state law will trump that. The state law says that you have to have procedures that you adopt specifically for zoning actions. You have that in Article 15 of your zoning code, and it's actually part 3. It's Section 15.2, applications for amendment. The zoning map amendments are Section 3. And it lays out the whole procedure, which you just went through. There is not a rescinding ability in that, and nor should there be. It would be misleading to folks to come to a hearing and then the next week have another zoning action take place without advertising and their presence being there. And the law is just really regulating that process, probably more for the protection of the general public, because the pressure would come the other direction in most instances. You would have a developer slipping back in the next week for the rescinded vote to get what they wanted, and so they do not allow you to do that under state code.
And so, Mr. Powell, I placed this item, or asked for this item to be placed on the agenda about 2 weeks ago, and we've also discussed it in the work session. If what I'm gleaming from what you just said is this is not something within council's authority to rescind, why would you not brought that point up 2 weeks ago or in the work session tonight?
I usually respond when asked, but the opportunity to talk about things when called upon, when y'all give me the opportunity to speak on it, it's really helpful for everybody to understand what the rules are and to know why you can do it and where it's useful, and then why you can't do it and why it doesn't happen. And frankly, it gives your citizens, just being able to talk about it, gives your citizens a lot of confidence that when they see something happen, it gets affirmed, and that's the law. If anybody wanted to know, they could call me, but otherwise, if I'm called upon, I'll be glad to give you the answer. And if you had done anything more than debate the how you do it, I would have intervened in that and told you it was the wrong thing to do. So,
Thank you. No, that answered the question. I just want to verify and want to make sure we don't do something that would be illegal.
B, consideration and action, thank you. Consideration action on motion to approve staff recommendations on the lowest qualified bidder for Briscoe Park Phase 2B improvements. Councilman Kraus, you have a motion?
Motion to approve Sports Turf Company Incorporated in the amount of $2,526,141 to approve staff recommendation as being the second lowest qualified bidder for the Briscoe Park Phase 2B as in boy improvements.
Councilman Kraus, point of clarification, I believe it's staff recommendation that they are the second lowest bidder, but the lowest qualified bidder. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. There is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Emanuel. Any further discussion?
I just think we need to tell people that the lowest bidder was non-responsive, didn't have the proper credentials, and it's a recommendation that we go with this other company that's slightly higher but much more qualified and meets the requirements of the bid.
Additional comments? Just for the public to know that was not in the work session tonight, this money is coming from our SPLOST funds. This is not money coming from the general fund, and this is to move forward with the next phase of our master plan for Briscoe Park, something we had mapped out several years ago but have only been able to build as the SPLOST money has come in. So it's exciting that we're able to go forward with Phase 2B. With that, I will call the question. All those in favor of the motion as previously stated, signify by raising your right hand. That is 6 in favor. All those opposed, 0 opposed. The motion stands approved. That concludes our regular agenda. Now for council reports, Councilman Wentz.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. Very short report. I'm glad to be back in Snellville. I want to thank all of you who sent word and prayers while I was out of town with my mom. Reported she's doing much better. She's still in the rehab center. She'll probably be there for a couple more weeks, but she's come a long way in the last 3 weeks, and I want to thank all of you for your prayers. Certainly helped me with that. Thank you.
Just to follow up with what Kelly McAloon said, the concert Saturday night was great. The weather cooperated, and there was a storm that went south of Snellville, and it cooled everything off here in the city, so it was very pleasant to be out. Had a huge crowd, a great turnout, so it was a lot of fun. Music was great. So great job to everyone. I wasn't out there in the afternoon sweating with all of you, but everybody did a great job. Thank you all for all the hard work that you do.
Yeah, Kelly McAloon stole one of my comments, but about the farmers market being the mother of all Gwinnett County farmers market. And I don't know that we can say enough about all the volunteers who put that on, get up in the middle of the night to get out there and stay there when it's hot, cold, wet, dry. They just do a fantastic job. And I'd like to, once again, it's a little bit redundant, but they just do such an outstanding job. I think they need a very good thank you. There's also been some chatter about the cop cab, which is something else that's getting a lot of good publicity for Snellville, and Councilman Howard did an outstanding job on that. Graphics were exceptional, and we have a copy cab now apparently in Kennesaw. It looks very much like ours, it's just not as good looking. And it's just good to see that we have so many good things going on in Snellville, and the rest of the county and the rest of the state's starting to take notice. So thank everybody for being here tonight, and have a safe drive home.
I look forward to presenting a couple of reports in the very near future, solicitation and code red. So please come back, and thank you for being here tonight.
All right, how y'all doing? It's 5 after 8 for crying out loud. You ought to be really smiling, okay? I'm just saying. You can wait till public comments, Trish. Oh, keep going. Okay, yeah. So I got plenty of time now, I guess. As Councilman Emanuel alluded to, the cop cab has been a tremendous blessing, not only I think for our city, but for me. And it's to see it come to life, and to see it doing some of the things that it's been doing. Erica's got a few pictures, but yeah, I just thought you were getting out of here early. Talked to Principal Thigpen this morning over at South, and we're going to have it out at the first football game on September 5th, and we're also slated to have it out at homecoming as well. And I've reached out to Principal Pugh over at Grayson and Principal Ford at Brookwood to do the same thing. We had it at the Brave Stadium for the Snellville night, which was good. It got a lot of things. This is our first night out at a true, honest-to-goodness license check. So we had it positioned so when people come up to the license checks, they actually saw it and they actually made comments about it. And, you know, again, it's the message that we want to continue to put out there and put out there and put out there. And if it gets to one, our job's, you know, it's not done, but our job is good at that point. So we even had a chance to take it downtown to the Gold Dome. Harris Blackwood was gracious enough. He is the director of the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, and he has requested, and the chief was gracious enough to go with us, that it come down for this, I guess it's a statewide convention in Macon coming up. So he was really thrilled with it, and I think it's going to get a lot of opportunity to be out. And again, that's what it's all about. It's the message we want to continue to kind of hammer home, but we appreciated the director's opportunity to sit down with him. And let's see, Erica, did I give you one more? Let's see. I think that was out. There is another group that we just recently partnered with. It's Guide Incorporated. It's Gwinnett United in Drug Education. And they have come on board with this thing, and they're going to do some things with us in the city, some alcohol prevention and check kind of things. So they're getting very active with us. So other people are seeing the things that we're doing here in the city, and this is just one of them. You know, we've got some opportunities to do some other things downstream, but, you know, the things that we can do to enforce, you know, behaviors, it's a good deal, and that's what we want to try to do. So we'll continue to use this thing. We have a lot of opportunities. Principal Thigpen and I again talked about some other things beyond the football games that we want to try to do as well. So again, I didn't do this by myself. I had 1,000 people helping me do this, and I want to thank all of them for sure. The next thing is, anybody spend some money in Snellville this week? Come on, good. All right, that's what it's all about. Shop local. Thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for the opportunity to serve you, the citizens of this fine city, and I appreciate it. Be safe.
That concludes the council reports. Now for the mayor's report. Two things I missed last weekend, and I want to wish congratulations to first Pastor Collins at New Jerusalem Baptist Church. He is celebrating his 12th pastoral anniversary, and they had the celebration for him on Saturday. And on Friday, the Veterans Resource Center in Gwinnett County opened. Danny Pagan with the Disabled Vets, who's always been a big supporter of the city of Snellville, and our own Senator Butler cut the red, white, and blue ribbon at the luncheon. I got tied up over in court and was unable to make it, but it's a great resource. I think they had something like 200 people come through there on Friday to check out the Veterans Resource Center, so thank you for them to doing that. That's it. There we go. Then this will be going out tomorrow, a press release on this, but I'm so excited to announce that we have started Leadership Snellville here in the city of Snellville. This is something that, actually you can go back to the other one, Erica. Something that I modeled after Leadership Gwinnett, Leadership Georgia, and other leadership programs here in the city, throughout the state of Georgia. The goal of this is to better educate our citizens and hopefully to create a pool of people here in the Snellville community that want to get involved in volunteer work, board appointments, and maybe future politics. We had about 20 people we invited to come and join, and these are the people that responded. People that typically are involved in the community but not involved in city-related organizations. And it will be a 10-week program. They'll meet once a week for 10 sessions, and they'll discuss things like public safety, transportation, finance, economic development. I can't remember the whole list. And at the end, hopefully they will do a community service program for our city. So we had our first meeting, and the first meeting was about government structure. Myself and Senator Gloria Butler spoke about local and state government structure, and it was a fabulous group. We had one person that couldn't attend, but we're excited, and hopefully this will be the first of many classes of Leadership Snellville. So look for good things to come from this group, and thank you to everyone who's agreed to give their time and participation. They have weekly homework assignments they're going to have to do, in addition to the sessions that they have to attend, so it is a big time commitment. And I want to thank these people for volunteering to do this. It is no cost, it's all a volunteer program, so thank you. With that, I will conclude my mayor's report and open it up to public comments.
Loganville. Just wanted to say that once again, great things are happening in the city of Snellville. On the business front of things, things are starting to pick up and wonderful things are happening. I'd like to invite mayor, council, and anyone else who might be interested to a ribbon cutting tomorrow at Covenant Health Pharmacy up in Cooper Village at 78 in Cooper. Awesome story that these guys have. It's a mom and pop pharmacy. Going to be competing with all the big dogs, the CVS and the Walgreens and all those guys. But once again, local people building local business, spending local dollars in Snellville. And we'd love for you guys to come out there. It's from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Lunch will be served, so that's always a plus. And then also, at the same place, on August 30th, they're going to be having a health fair at Covenant Health Pharmacy, with free blood pressure checks, blood sugar checks, cholesterol, nutrition, fitness, counseling, all that kind of thing. So another opportunity to bring some community together, come out, celebrate a new business, and just be excited and happy that new business is building in Snellville once again. So thank you very much.
Kathy Emanuel, 1313 Temple Johnson Road. Again, I just want to make sure everybody keeps on their calendars. September 30th is Snellville Public Safety Night. It's put on by the Snellville Police and helped by the Alumni Association. From 5:30 to 7:30, we're going to have a lot of exhibitors out there covering personal health, personal security, financial security, any kind of security you can think of. It's going to be a very good program open to everybody in the area. And October 11th will be the Cops and Robbers Run rescheduled date, so please keep that information on your calendars and tell everybody you can. We'd like to have a lot of people come out for that. Thank you very much.
Perry Itson, 1750 Glen Eden Court, and I own Stone Mountain Ice, and I just wanted to thank the council members and staff that were able to participate, and thank Brian, wherever he is, for the very nice press releases. Some of them got picked up by the AJC and Gwinnett Daily Post, I think, and so it was a good thing for Snellville. And I haven't had a chance to total it all up yet because it's just, I was tired last night. But I had my 40th high school class reunion Saturday night, so I haven't had a whole lot of sleep yet. But yeah, right. No, I'm actually an Avondale guy, but you know, it was a great thing. The police department did participate, and they had a good time. And there were several of the officers that actually went through it several times to help people get over their fear and nervousness about doing it. And there was one poor girl that got full 5-gallon buckets poured on her because the police department was helping her out, and she had a little bit of a shock on her face. But anyway, we had a good time. We raised some money, and I very much appreciate the support of the city and all the people with it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ron Weber. I think most of you know me. This is in relation to the
Ron, I need you to state your address for the record. I'm sorry.
What do you need? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I live at 2625 Winthrop Way in Lawrenceville. I am not a city resident. However, what I'm going to speak to does apply due to a sphere of influence with the what's happening with the rezoning requests. This concerns the Brands property rezoning RZ 14-03, LUP 14-02 for 252 apartment units. And I'm going to be brief. I'm not going to grandstand here. It's come to the public's attention that you all received a letter today from Brands property, I believe Lee Tucker, the attorney, requesting that his zoning application be postponed until October or November, originally scheduled for September. The premise of that was they needed additional time to do more studies, such as traffic studies. I'd like to ask you, I don't even know if you've seen the letter yet, and I'm sorry, but as you entertain it, if you would please take a close look and understand that Lee Tucker is the same attorney that was with Anderson, Tate & Carr back in 2008 when this property was originally rezoned to put the retirement village on. He is intimately knowledgeable of every detail concerning these properties, and his request of not having enough time to do a traffic study simply doesn't make any sense. The people he's worked with, the Brand properties, they have been amassing these properties over the last 6-7 years. They know what is concerned, and we ask that you deny their request for an extension. Tied in with the Linwood Properties application, these two properties are very similar. It's going to drag out the council's time. It's going to drag out the public's time, and we'd like you to please keep them together and deny his request. That's it. Thank you. Do I need to write anything here? Okay.
Public comment? Mr. Richardson, you signed up. Did you want to speak?
Good afternoon, Mayor, City Council, Snellville community. I just have one thing to say, a couple of things to say that's been on my mind, and it's been placed on my mind to say these things, and I hope nobody don't get excited and get excited. First of all, I'd like to say that I love my country. I've served my country. I take pride in my country. But I also would like to say that I know my country's history. Our history can't be denied. It can be discussed, but it can't be denied. I also know that when the subject of race comes up either in the community or in the meetings or wherever, we tend to get excited. We tend to get defensive. And this, I've been noticing it, and it don't make me angry as a citizen of the United States, but it makes me it hurts me to my heart. It hurts me to my heart to see some of the things that goes on in the country. I say to the council and to the community, don't get so defensive when race or the word race is heard. There's no need to be. Our country was built racially divided. Just give me a minute. History itself can only be discussed, it cannot be changed. I also notice within the community, within the council, we hear what each other says all the time. We hear each other. The council hears the community hears the council. Nobody's listening. Everybody here, nobody's listening. My uncle that raised me told me that you learn something every day. You listen. You don't learn something every day. I believe that because I believe when you listen, you learn. And when you learn, you begin to think. And when you think, you begin to communicate. That's what we don't do here. Once we begin to communicate, there's going to be some kind of action because we've been communicating. If we communicate within the community, I guarantee you we have some results. And if we keep this in the back of your mind, wherever you make your decisions, whatever you do, council, community, keep that in the back of your mind, I guarantee you things will work out. Things will work out a lot better. There's people hurting in this community, but nobody's listening. We hear each other. And I just advise, and I'm just here to say, because it's been on my heart and on my mind. I'm a veteran, two-time Vietnam veteran, 26 months in the jungle. Can't sleep at night sometimes. My wife, city council, city clerk, she has to wake me up and console me sometime at night. All that because I serve my country. Proud of it. But I just ask the community to come together. That's all I'm asking. And I thank you so much.
My name is Leonard Ware, and I live at 1055 Castle Point Lane in Grayson, Georgia, 30017. I'm a preacher of the gospel of Jesus Christ, and I can imagine many, I'd like to say thank you, Your Honor, the Mayor, and the City Council for giving me these few minutes. I can imagine most of you would consider yourselves Christians, and we have an opening prayer. And what sums up the law and the prophets is to do unto others as you would have others do unto you. And many times we've adopted a building-centered religion where we praise God in the building, but then we come into the arena of politics, and it can be kind of difficult. My degree is in government and politics from the University of Maryland. And I believe that sometimes we miss as Christians that justice is righteousness. And righteousness is what's owed to God, how we treat one another. Jesus Christ died for all mankind. And I believe that we ought to be aware of the fact that every idle word that we speak is going to be judged. We also hear a lot about morality in government. And to be moral as to how we treat one another, how we treat God, and that partisanship can be very divisive. And I was kind of disappointed with the council's vote on the Grace Church, because they've been in the community so long. They stand for the gospel of Jesus Christ, and I believe that we all have to give an account for the decisions that we make. And they kept giving and giving and giving, and then they ended up in politics, people win, people lose. So I just think it's really important that we all remember that we are all trying to serve the same God and dwell by the same Spirit. We're all on the same team, trying to get to heaven in the after while. And I just want to encourage the council, to really be mindful of the fact that, that everything that we do is judged, and how we treat one another. That we wouldn't want to go to a place that's, we wouldn't want to go to eternal damnation over something that we did in politics, something we did for, the gentleman mentioned race. Ignorance and fear and power and money are part of the big term racism, but it's broken up, and we have to start talking to each other and dialoguing and not just monologue. Dr. King said that. We're trapped in monologue rather than dialogue. We got to talk to each other. We got to love one another, and I trust that you all are really decent people, and we'll do that. And I just wanted to express that. And you mentioned the city clerk. I had a chance to meet Ms. Phyllis Richardson. I have a great deal of respect for her, and I'm glad she's your city clerk. And I hope that all of you will, make sure you treat her right. She'll treat you all right. You treat the mayor right. The mayor will treat you all right. I understand, Mayor, you're about to have a baby pretty soon, and hope you all will just rejoice with her with that and put whatever aside, and just really love each other and do it for the community. And diversity is good, because when we all come together in different racial backgrounds, economic backgrounds, political backgrounds, we can make really good decisions. And so I just wanted to say that God is supreme, and one day when we stand before the judgment seat, and we all will, we'll have to give an account for everything that's done in politics or in our jobs or in our families. So thanks for the opportunity and the time.
Thank you, sir. Okay, I will close the public comment. The time is 8:30, all right? 8:29, and we are adjourned. Thank you all for coming out tonight. Have a safe trip home.